Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Alondra Villarreal. Getting ready for coffee and flannel. Sundays on Eagle 98.1. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Terrio next hour. An old face coming home. Tigers getting set to take on the Rebs in Oxford. Ton to do, but let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Huge series this weekend in Oxford. LSU, Ole Miss, two teams that are caught in this clump right in the middle of the Southeastern Conference. You've got South Carolina and Missouri who are garbage at the bottom. You've got your top-tier teams right now, at least by record. Georgia looks incredible. Texas has obviously been off. Some Mississippi State had been until this past weekend when they got swept. But still, I would count them there. Then everybody else is just clumped within a couple of games of each other. So this is really a pivotal weekend where when we come through this three-game series and you look at the conference standings, you're going to have teams looking at the second half of conference either from a pole position above 500 or teams really needing to make a move and do something improbable. You look at LSU at 6-6 in the conference. You look at Ole Miss at 5-7 in the conference. If LSU comes out of this weekend with a series win, let's say they take 2 out of 3, you're talking about a team that would be at 8-7 in the league, above 500. Staring down a home series against A&M, a road series against Mississippi State. Still a series against South Carolina ahead. You still got a series at Georgia, which will be really tough. But you look at Ole Miss right now, 2 games under 500 at 5-7. If they lose this home series, and they're looking at coming out of this weekend, 3 games under 500, they'd have to win 3 weekends just to get back to even. So all that to say, it's a massive weekend with LSU and Ole Miss for positioning. Tigers RPI currently is at 73, but we talk about it all the time. It just doesn't matter. You're going to play 30 SEC games just by the virtue of playing on the road against ranked Ole Miss, on the road against top 5 Georgia, on the road against top 10 Mississippi State. Like, the RPI is going to take care of itself. That's not even a consideration. It's about conference wins. And the committee does not care about your conference standing. It doesn't matter if you're 3rd or 7th or 10th. That's irrelevant. It's the number of conference wins. That's what they're looking at. So for LSU, I think a very realistic target, which we've talked about, is getting to 16. You're at 6-6 through 4 weeks. Can you go 10-8 in the next 6? That starts this weekend on the road against Ole Miss. So, this is an interesting series between these two teams. The last 2 times they've met in the regular season, in Oxford in 2023, of course, Tigers had Paul Skeens, and then a year later in Baton Rouge in 2024 when LSU wasn't very good. LSU swept both of those series. Now, last year they met in the semis at the SEC tournament, and Ole Miss beat LSU 2-0 in that game. I look at this weekend, and a day ago, we had Chase Parham from Rebels 24/7. We had Kendall Rogers with us. We had dudes that cover the conference as a whole, or the college baseball as a whole. They cover Ole Miss to give us their perspective. And what's very clear about this series Couple of things. Number one is Ole Miss has good, not great, but good frontline pitching and a couple of good bullpen arms. Their staff ERA for Ole Miss is right now at, sorry, I had it. Their staff ERA is 3.70. Sorry, I knew I had it right there. Their staff ERA is 3.70. That's fifth in the league. They're fifth in the conference in staff ERA. But they are 15th in batting average. And there's no team in the SEC that strikes out more than Ole Miss. To put this very simply, they are a bunch of big old dudes that get on their back foot, dip their back shoulder, and try to elevate everything because, like Tennessee, they play in a total trash, bitty ballpark. 390 to center, 365 to the power alleys. For context, if you're not familiar with dimensions, the box, which plays small, is 405 to center and 385 to the alleys. You're talking about coming in 15 or 20 feet from center and 20 feet in the alleys. Basically, what are fly ball outs at Alec Box or anywhere else are home runs there. This team, Ole Miss, lives and dies with the home run. That's it. On Tuesday, LSU played Bethune-Cookman. In the second inning of that game, Bethune-Cookman had 6 singles in an inning. I can live with that. Throw the ball over the plate, and if they get 6 singles in an inning, I can live with that. Because that's not going to happen very often. The probability of that happening in baseball is not very good. What you can't do against Ole Miss is walk, 3-run homer. That's what they want you to do. Give them base runners. They're going to get on their back foot and try to knock one out of the ballpark. What you need them to do is go single, 3-run homer, which they've shown now through a sample already this season of 34 games that they're not capable of doing that. So you've got to throw the ball over the plate. Tonight in game 1, it's Case and Evans against Hunter Elliott. Evans, great strikeout stuff. He will probably in this ball game, Case and Evans will probably strike out double digits. It doesn't mean he's going to extend deep in the ball game. It doesn't mean he's going to get the win. It just means Ole Miss strikes out a ton. They will take 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts if the one is a homer. That's how they play offensive baseball. This Ole Miss team plays offensive baseball. So Evans, who struck out 59 in 41 2/3 innings pitched, is probably going to strike out a lot tonight. But he's got to throw the ball over the plate. You're going against Hunter Elliott. Now, Hunter Elliott, you might remember, was awesome as a freshman. He and Dylan DeLucia are what rode Ole Miss to the national championship in 2022. The unfortunate thing for Hunter Elliott is he had the UCL injury. Instead of having Tommy John, he did the sleeve procedure, and it didn't work. And so it effectively cost him 2 seasons. So he's a 5th-year guy now who still, by the way, has another year of eligibility. The problem with Elliott is he throws a ton of pitches, and so he doesn't extend. He normally gets you through 4, maybe into the 5th inning. That's about the extent of it for Hunter Elliott. And he loves to throw the changeup, but he doesn't throw it for a strike. So if you're LSU, you have got to spit on the changeup in this ballgame. It's a hard thing to do because the changeup coming out of the hand looks like a fastball, and you want to swing at the fastball. But if you can spit on his changeup, get his pitch count high, get him out of the game early, make them get into the bullpen, that sets you up great for the rest of the weekend. Kay Townsend, who's going to pitch in game 2, he's a draft-eligible sophomore. He's a guy that some draft experts project as a top 10 pick. He's probably not going to go that high because he's a college righty, and the high school talent and the premier lefties tend to go early, think Kate Anderson. But he's probably a late first, early second-round pick, high-level prospect. He'll go against William Schmidt. And then Taylor Rabe is a reliever who they're making into a starter right now out of necessity. Not that dissimilar from Grant Fontenot starting in Game 3, a reliever they're making into a starter right now. So these teams, in many respects with their pitching staffs, mirror one another. The key for LSU is you've got to throw the ball over the plate because this is not an Ole Miss team capable of beating you by getting 3, 4, 5 hits in an inning, 12, 13, 14 hits in a ball game. That's just not what they do. So don't give them base runners. You got to throw strikes. And for LSU, you got to drive Hunter Elliott's pitch count up tonight, get him out of the game early, make them go into their bullpen early, because if they go into their bullpen early, that severely weakens them later in the weekend because they don't have a depth of talented arms on this team. So it's a team that if they're elevating the baseball and running it out of the yard, they can be dangerous, but that's only really dangerous if you're putting runners on base. I can live with a solo homer in a bitty ballpark. I can't live with walk, hit by pitch, grand slam. Don't give it to them. Make them earn it at the plate. Tigers should be good this weekend. Game 1 tonight at 6:30 there at Patrick Swayze Field in Oxford. It's not actually. Did you know that, Alondra? It's not actually Patrick Swayze Field.
Wait, really?
I just made that up.
This whole entire time, I thought it was because they love Dirty Dancing.
It's not Patrick Swayze Field. I did just make that up. However, 2 Fridays ago, I emceed the St. James Episcopal auction. That's Rivers. Her children go to school there, so they asked me to MC their auction, which I was happy to do at the City Club. Great venue, by the way. Shout out City Club. And I met a lovely family who live in my neighborhood, by the way.
Okay.
And their daughter is named Swayze.
Cute.
They're Ole Miss grads. They named their daughter after the field.
I kind of love that.
Do you?
Yeah, I'll probably name my kid Alex after the box.
Well, do you know it's actually Alec? It's not Alec.
No, I know that.
A lot of people don't, but the Box family did come forth years ago and said they call that Alex went by Alec. The family called him Alec, even though it's spelled Alex. So, the more you know.
Shout out Bill Franques.
Shout out Bill, the GOAT.
Here he is.
Bill, tell you what, you want obscure baseball facts and trivia.
Bill Franques.
Bill Franques. Well, Jim, you know, on days that start with a T in the month of February, when the temperature is above 76 degrees, left-handed hitters against a righty sinker ball pitcher average 376 at the box.
That is literally a stat he would give you.
I mean, he's kind of
and
a guy.
then Todd Polies would be like, true.
Todd Polies would be like, he'd be giving you the name. He'd be giving you the name on Twitter. Shout out Todd Polies. Shout out Bill Franques. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. By the way, I was talking to my good friends today, Courtney, Mary, friends over at Mockler. Alondra, I need to fill you in on this. I haven't had a chance to tell you. But so each day next week, we are going to have LSU baseball Bud Light prize packs to give away here on AFR in advance of the LSU Texas A&M home series.
That's fun.
I mean, like the cases of the national championship beer, national championship hats, shirts, maybe them Faya Bud Light jerseys they made.
Ooh.
I mean,
a jersey?
Have you seen it?
No, but I might have to set one aside.
Oh, I wore one in the opener today. This year, I mean.
I didn't even see it.
So it's like this can.
Yeah.
The jersey pattern.
So it's badass, basically, is what you're saying.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, kinda, yeah.
Because those cans are badass, or bottles, I mean.
So next Friday, I gotta wear the jersey. Got to bring it back. Anyway, point being, we'll have to use our contesting platform, and Alondra as our new promotions director for 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is the one who's going to be responsible for all that. So Alondra, just FYI,
thank you.
I've got some work for you to do.
Perfect.
Got some work for you to do next week.
Awesome.
Paula, you don't worry about it. You do the thing that you do awesome, which is all of our video everything. Paula and Alondra.
I'll do everything else.
Alondra. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Terrio in 45 minutes from right now. Saints got a big-time prospect coming to the facility. Want to talk about him next at AFR.
AFR.
I want to give a big shout-out to my buddy Jareth Knockan and my friends over at Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions over at Glow Resources. Again, not a temp staffing agency. I mention that to you all the time. They're not temp staffing. They are permanent employer solutions. So they are finding you permanent employees for the jobs that you're trying to fill. So look them up, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. And I was fired up to see this, man. I saw this on their Twitter and all their social media a day ago, that Glow Resources was named they were named number one in workforce staffing in Louisiana. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. There's a picture of Jareth right there. Jareth and I go to the same barber, by the way. It's Glow Resources. So if you need to find those permanent staffing solutions, skilled blue-collar labor, any type of office job, you want Glow Resources. glowresources.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Many reasons why you should check out LouisianaSports.net every day. Among them, when we have breaking news. By the way, you can text LSN, Louisiana Sports.net. That's what we affectionately here refer to LouisianaSports.net, LSN. Text LSN, those three letters, to 499-1045, 225-499-1045. If you want to be signed up for our breaking news alerts, effectively, if we ever have a breaking news story. For example, earlier today, Johnny Jones was officially hired as an LSU assistant. We had that story for you at LouisianaSports.net. You would get texted that news immediately. Just a bit ago, as a matter of fact, before we came on air, I tweeted this news. I got it confirmed. Damon Stoudemire, former NBA player, former Georgia Tech head coach, who was fired a few months ago, or last month, I guess. Damon Stoudemire on LSU's campus today. Deal is not yet finalized, but expected to be done maybe throughout this weekend. But Stoudemire, like, for example, whenever that news breaks, we would text you that. A couple of Saturdays ago, over at LouisianaSports.net, we broke the news about Gabe Relaford having his torn ACL. So effectively, if you ever want that breaking news, whenever we have it, we would text you that breaking news. But you have to opt in. So just text LSN to 225-499-1045, 225-499-1045, 225-499-1045. Opt in. You'll be right there. So Johnny Jones has been officially hired as an LSU assistant basketball coach. So interesting. So whenever Will Wade was hired, there were four names that I was told initially that were being considered for the staff. It was Rick Stansbury, Johnny Jones, Damon Stoudemire. One other, and I'm told that fourth one that was maybe of interest is not going to happen. So I'll reserve the right to hold that name close to vest. Maybe when the staff is complete, I'll tell you. But three of those four, it looks like, are going to get done. Johnny Jones, I think, is fascinating. My understanding with Johnny is, and LSU has formally announced this, Johnny had been the head coach. Of course, he was fired at LSU as the head coach, and he went to Texas Southern over there in Houston, and he'd been the head coach at Texas Southern in the SWAC. My understanding is he just wanted to come home for his last job before retirement. So it's an opportunity to come back to his alma mater, come back to Louisiana. I don't know this specifically, but I do know that there are it's an oddity, but there are, like, when you're a state employee, if you're a coach, you're a state employee. And so you have the opportunity to collect retirement across multiple states if you have been in a state employee in that state for so many years. Like, I'll give you an example. So Kevin Steele. Kevin Steele, one of the reasons when he was at LSU for 1 year as defensive coordinator in 2014 or 2015, and then went back, I think, to Auburn. Or it was I think he went to Auburn and then back to Alabama, whatever it was. So he went back because he was going to be able to reach a retirement level in the state of Alabama and collect state retirement in Alabama, which is very good. So Steve Ensminger, by the way. Steve Ensminger coached in Texas and Louisiana and Alabama and Georgia, and, like, he was going to collect retirement in like several different states, which is awesome, right? If you don't think of it in those terms. But I think for Johnny, that's probably part of it as well, an opportunity to finish his career, even as an assistant at a place he loves, a place where he played, where he was an assistant coach under Dale Brown, where he was the head coach when he came over from North Texas and now gets to be an assistant coach again under Will Wade. And so when you look at this staff that Will Wade is building, you're talking about Johnny Jones, Rick Stansberry, both former SEC head coaches. Will Wade, who again is now an SEC head coach, and then Damon Stoudemire, if he's joining, does in fact they finished the job. You're talking about a guy that before his time at Georgia Tech was with the Boston Celtics, so NBA experience and Power 4 head coaching experience at Georgia Tech. You're building a pretty monster staff, and they probably got more support staff to go, but Will Wade's built a pretty monster staff of sharp basketball minds, but also great recruiters as well with tons of great relationships. Rick Stansberry had been at Memphis under Penny Hardaway, where in the NIL era they had done exceptionally well there at Memphis. So a guy that not only knows basketball, has been a head coach in this conference, but also understands this era as well. So building up that staff, Rick Stansberry, Johnny Jones, they are official. Again, we reported Damon Stoudemire, but we'll wait on that to be. That is not yet official, by the way. What I can confirm is that Stoudemire's at LSU today. He was at the basketball facility today. And we'll see if, in fact, they are able to finalize that deal to bring Damon Stoudemire on a Will Wade staff as well. Talk some NFL draft here in a second. Let me remind you about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Y'all, they're the best at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. It's not just me saying it. They got 40 years worth of a track record to prove it. It's where Louisianians have gone to get engaged for 4 decades. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. It's one of those things where when you look at a diamond from Lee Michaels, you notice it across the room. And you might wonder, why? Why does that diamond look different than others? Well, you can go to Lee Michaels and have them explain it because their gemologists can do a much better job explaining it than I can. It's literally what they do. But so much of it is just the care they take in the diamonds they select when Scott goes on these diamond buying missions to India every year to bring the best selection here. And because they've been buying for 9 stores for 40 years, they can get a great selection and pass along great value. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, let's have to further review. Hat tip Nick Underhill, who had this report earlier today. Nick Underhill reported that the New Orleans Saints are hosting Jordan Tyson on a pre-draft visit. This one is really intriguing because Tyson he's an Arizona State receiver, and he has been massively productive. And when you talk about a game changer physically and from productivity, it's Jordan Tyson. Checks all the boxes. Was at Arizona State with Sam Leavitt. The problem with Tyson is the injury history. So he had a big knee injury after his freshman year at Colorado. He had a broken collarbone at the end of his 2024 season. That was the year Arizona State went to the college football playoff. And then a hamstring injury in 2025 sidelined him for the rest of the year and basically through preseason draft workouts thus far. So it's one of those where getting him here is so significant because it allows your medical team the opportunity to put hands on him and to say, all right, do a physical evaluation to say, do we feel like he is injury prone? What is the projectability for a guy like Tyson with his injury history? Now, I can get over a collarbone injury. Tyler Shuck had a collarbone injury. Sometimes in a collision sport like football, you're going to have broken bones. What you start to worry about is when you have the ligament tears and the soft tissue injuries, because then you start to worry about the propensity of those injuries. I've heard Dr. Etheridge on with Hester and Flynn and in the morning talk about that in the past. When you go to the combine or these things, you try to put a career timeline. Based on that injury, we feel like he can play X years at a productive level. So that's the benefit of getting Tyson to the Saints facility, to make sure that you feel like he's a guy that maybe has just had some bad injury luck, but could still project to have a long career in the NFL. Because when he's on the field, the talent for a guy like Tyson is just undeniable. I mean, he's a guy that in 2025, before the injury in October, in 9 games, 9 games, had 61 catches for 711 yards and 8 touchdowns. In 2024, before the late season injury, he had 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. So you're talking about a massively productive guy, and you go put on the tape, and you're just wowed by the ability. It's just, can he stay healthy? So it's one of the benefits of having him here, the top 30 visit, and getting him to New Orleans to go through the medical, work him out, interview him to see if it might be a fit, because that's a guy that if you're okay, if you're convinced on the injury front, then that's a guy that's absolutely worthy of the 8th overall pick. But a lot of us, yours truly included, have redirected our focus to Carnell Tate from Ohio State, Mekhi Lemon from Southern Cal, and some of these other players because they don't have the injury history that Tyson does. But sans the injury history, Tyson is right there in that conversation. So big opportunity for New Orleans to see. And then something else that maybe just to plant the seed is, what if at 8 you end up going defensive back at Mansour Delane, Ruben Bain, something like that? But then because of the injury history, Tyson starts to slip to the teens, early 20s. We've talked about the possibility of New Orleans trading back into round 1 at the end of round 1. Well, that could be a prospect where you say, let's go get him. Let's go back into round 1 and get a guy we think that's a top 10 talent if he's healthy. So big opportunity here for New Orleans hosting Jordan Tyson this right now, according to Nick Underhill on a pre-draft visit. All right, it's After Further Review. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We'll knock out a quick break. Terrio in 30 minutes. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. 80 degrees right now in Baton Rouge. Y'all know the drill. The ticket, triple-digit temps are right around the bend. We are going to be living in those triple-digit temps every single day before you know it, and your AC gets no relief. It sits out there on the side of your house in that relentless heat, humidity, bugs, dust, rain, dander, all of it. Never gets a break. You want to make sure that thing is ready to go to keep your home cool throughout the entire summer. How do you do that? You make sure it's ready to roll with a pre-season AC tune-up from River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All them shows in you, and you got blue boots falling out your glass. Man don't want you in the club, when you probably starting fights in the club. You come through and you're in a car, all in you might know you a star. You come with 4 or 5. Time to fight anything straight out the door. All the shows in you, and you got blue beats falling out your glass.
16 attendees from the SEC. No, I'm sorry. 16 attendees to the NFL Draft, 5 from the SEC. How about this? So I do find this interesting. If you were a player that was going to be drafted, you thought you were going to be drafted, would you go to the draft? Alondra, would you go to the draft?
I would.
Paulie, would you go? If you knew really good chance, you're going to be drafted in the first round, would you go?
I would probably stay home.
Why?
Just more family that can be around.
Alondra, why would you go?
I would go because I feel like that's part of the whole deal. Like, I'm going first round. I want to be up there. I want to accept my jersey from Roger Goodell.
There's always the chance you don't get picked.
Yeah.
Which could be kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
However, I've seen plenty dudes at the draft have a great attitude about it, just to say, like, I get invited to the draft.
Right.
I'm going. Like, for example, Ty Simpson, Caden Proctor from Alabama are going. Colton Hood from Tennessee, Mansour Delane's going to go, and then Keldrick Falk from Auburn is going to go. Like, I don't think Ty Simpson's going in round 1. I mean, he might. I guess there's a chance there's a team like late round one could move back into the end of round one and be like, let's go get our guy. I don't think that's a high probability. It's possible. So, like, if you're Ty Simpson, let's just say it this way. That's a risk. Yeah? That's a risk.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think I'd be embarrassed by that.
I'm not saying I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it's a risk.
Right.
Like, you may not get picked.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm not picked. Like, they invited me to the NFL draft. I get to put on a suit and go be at the draft, and eventually my name's going to be called. If it's round 2 or whatever, I'll go hang out there, and I'll walk out on the stage, and I'll meet the commissioner, and I'll get my jersey, and I'll take my picture, and I guess I just look at it like, maybe this is just one of those things where I sincerely and deeply am unmoved by the opinions of others.
Yeah.
It's probably why I do this job, because every day of my life, people poop on me. I piss off, like I say all the time, the worst part about being in the opinion media is giving opinions. Literally the worst part of the job is the job. Because no matter what, every day I'm going to piss somebody off. It's not intentional. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or upset you. It's just my job is to sit here and give what I believe to be well thought out, well informed, strong opinions. And people disagree, and that's okay. It's okay. And I just don't care if you disagree. I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you think I look like a thumb. I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to kiss my wife. I'm going to play with my son. I'm going to watch baseball. I'm going to sleep great tonight. And if tomorrow all of you decide we're never listening to your show again, cool. I'll go sell Rooster Parish. Like, I'll be good. I'm good. I'm genuinely just unmoved by what people think. So, like, if you're Ty Simpson and you go, or you're someone who is like, I don't want to go because what if I don't get picked? Would that be embarrassing? My feeling is, who cares? You're at the draft.
Right. That's once in a lifetime,
yeah.
The fact that you even got invited.
It is literally, people misuse literal all the time, literally once in a lifetime. You can only go through the draft process once.
Yeah.
This is literally, Russ Mitchell, literally a once in a lifetime opportunity.
And only a select few people get it.
There's some times where dudes go and they just like sit in the crowd.
Yeah.
They're 4th round picks. I'm just going to sit in the crowd. And when they call me, I'm jumping up on stage. Look at that. Seen that in the NBA. When dudes aren't invited, they'll go sit in the crowd. Now, there aren't 4th round picks in the NBA, but still they'll just go, they're not invited to backstage, but they go sit in the crowd, they come out of the stands and go stand on stage where they get their name called. That's really cool. I love it. Shout out to all of them. I don't think, by the way, that Ty Simpson is going to be a first rounder, but we'll see. Maybe so.
Wow, that opinion just made me so angry.
They do. Did I just rage bait you?
You just rage baited me
with
so
Ty
hard.
Simpson?
I'm not going to get over it for the whole weekend.
I mean, do you realize that Bama is burning is literally just me trolling
Rage
Alabama.
baiting.
That's all it is. And if they would stop caring,
you'd stop doing it.
I would stop doing it.
Right.
They can't stop caring about me.
They can't quit you.
They cannot quit me. We're like the gay Cowboys, me and Alabama fans. We together are gay Cowboys in that movie.
I don't know if I'd put it that way. But
That's what we are.
Yeah.
We're the gay Cowboys in the movie.
y'all are Brokeback Mountain.
Me, Bama fans, Brokeback Mountain. They can't quit me. They just can't quit me.
No, they can't.
And I just
You can't quit them either.
and I just thirst off of their melt. It fuels me watching them. It's like a little 4-year-old kicking in an anthill just to watch them all scurry.
Yeah.
So you better believe I'm dressing my ass up like Chief Osceola again. Bama loses a home game to Florida State. You don't think my ass is gonna be back on that horse?
No, I know.
I saw Mr. Harvey Honore at Supper Club. He's the guy who loaned me his horse last year to do. I saw him at Supper Club a couple weeks ago. I popped into Supper Club, and Mr. Harvey Honore was right there with Mr. Eric Lane, some other folks having dinner. He called me over. He talked to me about that horse. I said, you better believe, man, I'm calling you again. Like, if Florida State goes into Bryant Dennehy Stadium and wins that game, tell old Peanut or whatever the horse's name was.
Was that its name?
I have no idea. Hazelnut. I don't know the horse's name. I don't care. Pretty horse, a beautiful horse.
That's messed up.
What? Oh, the horse you offended? I don't know the horse's name.
Yeah, you just rage baited the horse.
I rage baited the horse. But just rest assured, I'm getting back on that horse again.
I respect it.
I'm at the borrow the headgear again from Trey Erie's wife. Shout out. I had to get Erica to remake me a spear because I disassembled the thing.
Yeah.
Because it was really just a garden shovel tied to the end of a
Right.
pole. And then she taped all the feathers on the whole thing. I still got my Warwick Dunn jersey. That's good. Anybody got any other ideas for how I could one-up the costume? I'm here for it. You let me know. But anyway, all that to say...
What if you actually speared somebody?
Well, I tried to spear Chris Marler last year.
Such a shame you missed.
He was out there videoing.
Yeah.
But so instead, we just speared the jersey on the ground, a Bama jersey on the ground. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Start at the website, y'all, firstsouthland.com. They have the ultimate recreational land buyer's guide on the website. Such a great resource. It's a totally free resource as well. That will answer pretty much any introductory question you have. But so many people who buy land already own land. So if you want to take some of the equity in your current property, roll it into your new property, you could do that. Look, you work hard. You make a good living. You deserve the opportunity to unwind. Maybe it's a hunting property in Mississippi, your recreational property in Texas, whatever it is, Arkansas. They can help you buy land anywhere in the lower 48, or maybe you want 100 acres to build your family's dream home. It's First South Farm Credit. They've been doing it for more than 100 years. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com for First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Vandy beat Oklahoma 10-5. Game one of their baseball series yesterday in Nashville at Hawkins Field. Connor Fennell got the win. Mike Mancini was 3 for 5 with 6 RBI, including 2 homers. As the Commodores get the win, they move to 7-6 in conference play. The 16th ranked Sooners fall to 5-8 in the league.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
Break up the Gamecocks. In the pillow fight in the Southeastern Conference, South Carolina beats Missouri in Como 5-1 in the opener. Now they're both 3-10 in the league. An absolute disgrace, both of you. A pox on both of your universities. Please get Missouri out of the Southeastern Conference.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
How about Will Stein doing work on the recruiting trail? I mean, a major recruiting win here. 4-star 2027 defensive lineman Elijah Brown committed to the Wildcats. Had official visits lined up to Mizzou and Auburn. But he is now pledged to the Wildcats. 6'3", 290. He's out of Alabama, the number 271 overall prospect in the country, 14th best player in the state of Alabama, the 32nd best defensive lineman, but he is heading up to Bourbon Country.
The Auburn Tigers.
The Bluegrass. And Jordan Hare Stadium. They're going to host a friendly. Alondra, I don't know if you know what that means, but that means a fake match.
So I actually didn't know that.
A friendly is it's an exhibition.
Okay.
It doesn't count. Argentina, and Iceland. They're going to play a friendly before the World Cup. Auburn could make $2 million on ticket sales alone in this. Tickets expected to go $300 in the lower level, $45 for end zone seats. Would you go?
No.
Why not?
I don't really
Why do you
care.
hate soccer?
I don't care for it.
Why aren't you cultured? You're from Mexico. You should love
I'm not
soccer.
from Mexico.
You're Mexicana. You're Mexicana. Your family.
I was born in South Carolina.
I didn't even know that. Oh, you're from San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm from San Antonio. I was born in South Carolina, though.
Why did you go to? Why were you born there?
My dad was like doing a job there, and so they were there for like a month or whatever, and I just
So you're a
was
South
born.
Carolina native.
I guess, yeah.
No, that's what you are. You're a native of the place you're born.
I mean, I left as soon as I could.
Doesn't matter. You're a native South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina.
You're a Greenville native.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Doesn't matter.
Other than that.
You're a native. You're a Baton Rouge resident.
Yes.
Your hometown is San Antonio, but you are a
Correct.
Greenville, South Carolina native. Mm-hmm. Paul, where are you born?
I was born in Texas.
Where?
Wait,
North-
what?
Yeah, North Richland Hills.
North Richland Hills?
Yep.
Is that where the hospital is?
I believe so, yeah.
My mind is blown.
If I'm right, I think it's close to Dallas.
Yeah.
Native Texan, Paul O'Neill.
Who knew Paul was more Texan than I was?
Learned that today.
That's crazy.
Paul was born there. You weren't. Drew, my son's a native Texan. He was
True.
born in Houston,
Yeah.
Texas Children's Hospital. Native Texan. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Alondra, I blame you. You
I'm
brought
sorry.
all of the OTB energy to this show. All of the structure that normally accompanies this show when you're here just goes
I feel like
out
that
of the
happens.
window.
Yeah, my bad.
So basically,
I
now,
didn't even do anything. You did it yourself.
now I'm blaming you
For
for
the
the
clock?
lack of structure on OTB.
No.
Yes,
I have
clearly.
literally nothing to do with this.
What
I
is
didn't
the
do
var-
it.
what
You
is the
brought
common
up-
variable? What is the common variable?
I mean, that's fair when you put it that way, but like you brought up everything else. So, did I prep this segment? Yes. Did I bring up Mexico? No.
Who gave me the Jordan Hare Stadium story?
That was on me, yes.
I did ask.
I didn't make you go off.
I did
off
ask
track
for the
there.
ole.
You
song.
did.
I did. Okay. So
Even the clock is messed up now.
I'm sorry.
Even the clock, you're on the OTB clock now, too.
We're close to it. Break. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Pools. DuplessisBuilders.net is the website. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. They're going to build you a beautiful pool. They can also build you a gorgeous outdoor kitchen. Maybe you got the pool and you want to add the outdoor kitchen. Eric and I did that a few years ago. You want to talk about completely reimagining your entire space. Add an outdoor kitchen. If you spend time outdoors like we do, my goodness, what a game changer. I mean, almost every day of my life, I'm in our outdoor kitchen. Love to eat dinner out there, covered area, TV outside. Just a way to enjoy a beautiful day, even when it's raining. I mean, what a gorgeous way to just watch the rain fall. Let our friends at Duplessis Pools help you out. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. We tell you all the time, you go to the homepage, there's the pick your pool option. You can pick your outdoor kitchen as well there. So go to DuplessisBuilders.net. You can design it all right there online. It's DuplessisBuilders.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Don't you turn me loose and Fred circa 2008. Tell you what's going to happen.
Are you going to go to that crawfish boil?
Oof. Is crawfish bowl of Fred's?
All right, I think
Look
so.
at what you're doing. Stop doing
Okay,
this.
my bad. I'm sorry.
Focus. See what you're doing? It is you.
You brought it up.
It is you.
brought
No,
up
I
Fred's.
didn't. I wasn't talking
You said
to you.
Fred's.
I wasn't talking to you.
Made
I was,
eye contact with me.
Nope. I'm looking at the screen.
All right.
Right. All I was doing.
I'm turning my mic off.
All I was doing was talking to the audience. But what crawfish bowl? Shout
I
out
guess
Jason
there's
Day.
one.
What crawfish bowl?
I
There's a
think
Fred's crawfish bowl
There's
coming?
a Fred's crawfish bowl. I think Guarantee
Shout
has a
out Fred's.
table at it.
What? Okay, we'll talk about them.
Okay.
Shout out Fred's. Jason Day. It's my guy. Fraioli, too. Shout out. Those are my guys. I want to talk about this when Terrio's here. Golly. Alondra, what you did to my clock. It is you. It is your, yes, it is your fault. You are the one. I've come to this conclusion. I'm no longer mad at Hester and Flynn. I'm mad at you. You're the one. Play the Anthony Davis thing. This was on Draymond Green's podcast talking about the Pelicans in a reunion. Play that.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It's on the audio sheet. Delandra?
Who said it?
Anthony Davis on the audio. I don't know that we have time to play it.
No, I'm sorry.
What? Play it.
I don't have it on here.
Okay, look in Muso's folder from yesterday. We'll revisit next hour.
I'll have it ready for the next one.
Can't wait. It's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. So Terry will be in studio here in just a little bit with Ryan's Letter Kick Rocks. We'll let you hear what Anthony Davis said on Draymond Green's podcast. Or maybe, Alondra, what we could do is talk about the Fred's Crawfish Boil and other native places of our birth, which is redundant. One other thing I wanted to get to is, I'm not sure if you saw this, but the the NCAA basketball tournament, on a serious note, the NCAA basketball tournament revenue has been distributed now. So, like, every time a team from a conference plays a game in the tournament, you get a share of the revenue. And the Big Ten revenue for the NCAA tournament blew everyone else out of the water, which is one illustration of why basketball matters. We'll get to that coming up after the top of the hour.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters too. We do Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. It's energy-efficient replacement windows. Beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding, shutters too. They do it all at Relief Windows. Also, Relief Windows is one of the presenting sponsors of Titan Combat Championship MMA tomorrow, Saturday, over at LeBear's in Baton Rouge. Brandon Holly, Adrian Holly, awesome people. Looking forward to seeing my friends over there tomorrow night at the fights at LeBear's. Doors at 6:15. Fights start, I believe it's 7, maybe 7:15. But it's going to be a great night. Alondra, you're going as well? I'll be there.
Yeah, I'm going.
Let's go. Don't you distract me, Alondra. We're looking forward to it. Now, as always, if you want energy-efficient replacement windows to lower your energy bills, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank, vinyl siding, shades, and shutters, they do it all. They're better than anyone. It's Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com.